Hey guys, back with another video, an impressions video. First impressions. Usually when I do impressions video, I finished the game in question, but with this game here, Monster Hunter 4, I have not finished this game yet. In fact, this game, I mean, I guess there is a single player portion to this game that I guess you technically can finish, but this is one of those games that has pretty much endless amount of content. Uh, Ideally, you could play this game for like almost like 1,000 hours, really. Either that or until you get bored of it. And I'm not bored of this game because I'm addicted to this game. In fact, I'd say this game is fucking amazing. I fucking love this game. In fact, I think this is probably my favorite 3DS game now. And the demo, like I said before on my demo impressions video, I was worried about the controls for this game, the 3DS version of this, because I've been a Monster Hunter fan. Although Monster Hunter Tri is really the only one I've played on the Wii, but I played that game for like 300 hours. So I was worried about the controls, but the controls, I got used to them very quick in that demo, and I played that demo quite a bit, using all the different weapons. And I knew from that demo that I was going to be hooked when I eventually got my hands on the full game. And yeah, I can't stop playing this game. I got Majora's Mask 3D as well, and I haven't even thrown that in yet because I can't stop playing this game. So I wanted to do a first impressions video to kind of give my thoughts on the game because I probably not going to be ending up doing an actual impressions video just because there's just so much content to this game and I'm never going to be actually finished with this game. I'm about 40 hours into this game. I'm almost about to reach the high rank content. You've got like the low rank content, the high rank content, and then the G rank. I'm just about to hit that high rank content, which is crazy. I thought it would be less than 40 hours to get to that point. But now, okay. Monster Hunter is a series people either love or hate. You either get it or you don't. Or not really get it, but more you're into what it's trying to do or you're not. This is not a story-driven game. They've got like a new story mode added in here. I mean, there's kind of been story modes before. This is by far the most extensive story mode I've seen from a Monster Hunter game. Tri's story mode, I got through it pretty fast, and it wasn't very good at explaining certain elements, and it was really boring too. I don't know. I thought like the online stuff was much better in Tri, where the single player content in this game is actually pretty damn good. The story itself is absolute garbage. In fact, it's not even worth talking about, really. You have like a main villain monster. This one gets this guy right here, the Gore Magala. So the main objective of the story is like trying to finally be able to hunt him. But there's more than that. Really, the single player is really just a massive tutorial for like how the game works, and then so you can be prepared for the G rank quests, and then taking yourself online, which is where the real fun of this series comes in. Even though I gotta say I'm really loving the single player here because it does an excellent job of, I think, explaining how the game works, and especially the different weapon types. And the dialogue this time is not like really dry and boring. Like it's actually got some humor to it. I don't think the game's actually all that funny, but at least they try. And it goes a long way. I think the dialogue not being just full of explanations. There's definitely some flavor to the localization, which I like. But I think this is by far the most accessible game in this series, and this is a series that it's hard to grasp all the elements. It takes a while to really fully learn these games, and even I don't know a lot of things. And there's a lot of new stuff added in this game. Like the one thing I love best about this game in terms of like bringing new players in is like the previous Monster Hunter games. You started off doing a lot of like really boring quests where you were hunting really small monsters, doing egg delivery quests, which are still in this. Why are those in this game still? Like I hate those egg delivery quests. They're fucking terrible. And they're still in here, and those suck. But you have to do like a few gathering missions in the beginning, but all pretty quickly you're getting thrown into like the Great Jaggy quest and then some bigger monsters. So you get into the meat of the game far quicker than previous games. And like I said before, like the explanations are much better here. they'll actually show you how to use each weapon type, which is a new thing and something I really like. They show you, they tell you they tell you a lot of different things in good ways. The one thing though, like there's an armor skill system to the Monster Hunter games. It's pretty complicated actually, and this game I found it didn't really explain it too well. And in fact, I think a lot of people are going to be confused by it and not even actually bother with it, which is actually a mistake because you actually have to know the skills and go for certain skills with your armors and actually use talismans and use your armor slots and put decorations in there to up your skills. And the game doesn't explain that stuff too well, which is a bit unfortunate. And I think overall, this is still a series where if you want to get into it, you're probably going to want to either have like a mentor of some kind to like show you how things work and kind of hunt with you, or just read up on the wikis, which there's a ton of good ones out there. There's a ton of good YouTube tutorials all over the place. So it could still be better, I think, as far as the tutorials go. But I think they're the best they've ever been here. But yeah, Monster Hunter. For those who aren't familiar with, I guess, like how these games work. Like I said before, there's no story to speak of with this game. The basic loop is going out, fighting a monster, getting materials from that monster, either hunting the monster or capturing the monster, using the materials to craft new weapons and armor, and then using that better armor you've crafted to fight new monsters, and move through these quests. And then, of course, you've got a gathering aspect where you like gather herbs and things like that out in the maps, which are like the maps are like kind of segmented into areas, like numbered areas that are kind of segmented into each other. There's like a loading screen between each one, so it's not like a big open world or anything. And you've got your villages where you can do all crafting your armor and things like that, and taking on your quests. But yeah, it's a very simple loop, but it's very addictive. And when you finally craft that set you've been going for, each monster has like their own set that's made with their materials. And some materials are very rare and hard to get. So it can take a bit of grinding. I mean, I'm not going to lie. The Monster Hunter series is very grindy, especially when you're going for certain weapons and armor. But when you finally do get that material you've been looking for so long, and you finally get that armor crafted, it's an amazing feeling. It's a very rewarding game. And the combat itself is absolutely fantastic. Some people like to compare it to the Souls games, the combat in this game. I don't find it's too similar to the combat. Maybe in terms of melee, and how like you have to be methodical. You have to consider like your animations and invincibility frames and things like that. Like you can't just cancel out of attack animations. You're committed to your attacks in this game. And the dodging kind of works fairly similar. You have a stamina meter that you have to worry about. So I guess I can see the comparisons, but other than the things I just mentioned, it plays a bit differently. I think overall, like the combat in this game is a lot faster than the Souls games. But it is kind of similar in the sense that your weapon type dictates like the moves you have, and how your character kind of moves and things like that. So you know what? Actually, now I'm thinking about it, I guess there are some comparisons. And if you like Souls combat, I think you're gonna like the combat here. It's not for everyone. Even though I think it's faster paced than Souls combat. Like I said before, it is very methodical. You can't just hack and slash and mash buttons in this game, or you're gonna die. And ultimately, the gear is very important too in this game. You're gonna want the best gear you can get, so you're not dying, like you're not being one-shotted by these monsters. But the monsters are fantastic. I swear, like, does it say here? I don't think so. I swear I heard like this game has 73 monsters in it, which that's insane to me because I think Monster Hunter Tri, I think it had maybe like around 30. I could be wrong on that, but there's a ton of monsters in this game apparently. And coming from Tri, I skipped Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Every monster in this game so far is new, with the exception of two, the Great Jaggy and the Raytheon, from what I've fought so far. So that's pretty crazy. So I love how many new monsters there are. Each monster is completely unique. Has their own have their own moves and things you got to watch out for. It's really fun, like tracking them and you know, making sure they're weak and you know, figuring out whether you know what time to capture them. Some monsters have like a really thick skin, so your attacks are gonna be deflected off certain parts of them. You can like crack horns and cut off tails and things like that to get certain materials. The monsters are just really fun to fight almost every time, and they're very intimidating and very difficult. You know, the Monster Hunter games are definitely difficult, especially by yourself. I think online the difficulty is pretty drastically reduced. But it's still fun. You have like a cat companion that comes with you on like the single player, and there's a ton of systems with the cat, which a lot of these are new for this game, where you can like craft armor for them. You can like find them out in the field, like cats that you can recruit to your team. And they each have their own different abilities. These cats that go out with you. There's like this fishing mini game that you use with them. Like there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of content in this game. There's a lot of systems. There's a lot of mechanics. So it can be hard to wrap your head around it, but very satisfying once you learn the game. And yeah, like I said, very challenging. Basically, when you go out on these hunts, you have 3 deaths before you fail, and you lose part of your reward money each time you die. And you got a preparation is a big part of these games too, where you got to really prepare for your fights. So you got to make sure you're bringing potions, you know, antidotes, like hot and cold drinks if you're in like a volcanic area or like an ice area. So yeah, preparation is very important. Capturing monsters is very difficult too, especially online, since people just, I swear, people just, that's one of the frustrating things about online. There's no like chatting with the keyboard in combat. You can only do it in like the gathering hall areas. No voice chat here either, which is one of the things I'm actually, I don't like about this game. I wish there was voice chat. But yeah, people online, I swear, just don't know how to capture and will always like end up killing the monster when they're weak, and then you fail because you didn't capture the monster, which is kind of annoying. What else is there to say about this game? I mean, I'm probably missing a bunch of stuff. There's mining too, of course. You got to bring like pickaxes and mine for materials that way. You've got your, yeah, like I said before, online is where like the real fun of this game comes in, where you hunt with 3 other people, and the online is separate from the single player, so you're rising up in hunter ranks online as well, and you get like urgent quests. Another new thing for this thing are exhibitions, which I haven't done actually too many of these. I need to go and do them more, but they're like different kind of areas where they don't give you like healing items and things like that right in the beginning. You got to bring your own stuff, and it'll be like a wilderness area where random monsters will just appear, and you might have like a mission you have to do in these exhibitions where you have to like kill a certain monster and then get to a caravan at the end, and you get like better rewards and certain items you can only get in these exhibition missions, which is cool. I think that's going to be more important later when I reach like the G ranks, but it's a cool thing that's added. But yeah, 2 new weapons for this game that haven't been in previous Monster Hunters, the Insect Glaive and the Charge Blade. I dabbled in every weapon to kind of figure out which one I wanted to use. I was primarily a switch axe user in Monster Hunter Tri, so I decided to go something different this time around. I tried the Charge Blade at first, and I don't know, I couldn't wrap my head around that thing. Like, it's a very complicated weapon. So I eventually gave up on it and went for the Insect Glaive, which I fucking love, where it's a really unique weapon where it's like a glaive where you have like a really acrobatic attacks, but you also have a kinsect, which is like this insect that's like a part of the glaive where you like shoot it out at the monsters, and you have to hit like certain parts of their body. So if you hit their head, you get like an attack boost. Their tail, defense boost, body, mobility boost. And you can combine all those boosts together to get like a super buff for your character. So you got to kind of like constantly send your Kinsect out to hit the enemies and then go to town on the monsters. Another new thing with this game, there was water sections in Monster Hunter Tri, And these underwater sections were kind of weird. You had certain monsters that were like in underwater, and you had to. The controls were like completely changed for these sections. It was very awkward. It didn't control very well, and it wasn't all that fun, at least in my opinion. They've gotten rid of that completely, and all the monsters that you would fight underwater aren't in this game. Some people are probably a bit mad at that. I'm not. In fact, I think it's a good change because instead we have actual verticality to the environments where you can climb up walls and like do jumping attacks to monsters in this game. And the environments are really great in this game because there's just walls everywhere and there's like platforms to jump to. The environments are just a lot better, I feel, in this game compared to previous Monster Hunters. And you can like jump and attack midair, and sometimes you can attack a monster and you'll mount them. And there's like a little mini game where you have to keep attacking them and then like hold on when they like start thrashing around. And then if you succeed in the mounting, you'll attack them, and then they'll like fall down. The monster will fall down, and then everyone can just like go in and start going crazy on them. That never gets old to me. I love mounting the monsters, and the best thing too is like the insect lave. You can actually really easily mount monsters because it's got like a pole vaulting attack, where you like pole vault and then attack midair. So that's an easy way to mount monsters with the insect lave. Like I love the insect lave. Like that and the hammer are like the weapons I've been using in this game. One thing I do want to say, Monster Hunter, the controls take a while to get used to if you haven't played a game in the series. Monster Hunter Tri, when I first played that game, it took me a long time to fully grasp the controls and to get good at them. And it will probably be the same here. Despite me saying, the demo, like I like the controls, because on the Monster Hunter Tri, I was using a second analog stick, and now all of a sudden I'm not using it. But this game, what you can do, you can kind of tap a monster icon on the bottom screen when the big monster you're fighting is in sight, and you'll be locked to that monster. Where if you press the L button, you'll automatically lock onto that monster. Which that is so helpful. It's a definite must if you're playing on original 3DS like I am. Of course, if you have the new 3DS, it's got that analog nub, which I'm sure the game probably controls its best on that system. I didn't get a new 3DS. There's not really a point for me to get one. Maybe if there's some exclusive games later that I feel like I have to have, but Xenoblade, I'd rather play it on the Wii, so I decided to skip out on that like Monster Hunter XL and just the new 3DS in general. But yeah, the controls, they're going to take a while to get used to if you haven't played this before. It is, again, try the demo. I think it's on the eShop now. I wouldn't suggest going right all in and buying this game. Although the demo's a bit of a mixed bag because it doesn't show you like the village aspects and creating gear and things like that. So at the same time, I don't know. Again, like if this appeals to you, I definitely highly recommend this game because you'll be playing this forever. Like it's like I can't see myself, like maybe when Bloodborne comes out, I might stop playing it for a bit, but it's a game that I think I'm always going to go back to. It's like really addictive, man. I just can't get enough of it. But that said, some people obviously are not going to be able to get into this. It's a game you either, from what I've seen, like or don't like. Especially people that want like a full-fledged story and don't care too much about actual gameplay. Because I mean, this game is just purely gameplay. But yeah, fantastic stuff. Easily, again, I haven't played too many Monster Hunter games. Only try really, but a big improvement over that game. Like holy shit. Like it's unbelievable how much better this is. Another thing too, like there's multiple villages in this game, so it actually feels like a world, whereas like Monster Hunter Tri, there's only like one village. But yeah, another thing too, like there's no farming anymore, which I know some people are disappointed in that, but I like the system here where you can easily just multiply items using this vendor, which that's a like I love that. Just there's so many accessibility features in this one compared to previous Monster Hunter games that I appreciate. So yeah, that's about it. If you want to play with me, I'm gonna leave my 3DS friend code I might be a bit further than most people, but I'll definitely help some people do like the low rank quests for online. Because yeah, the online's super fun in this game, and I'd like to play with some people. I actually don't know anyone that's actually has this game, so I haven't been able to play on. I've only been playing online with like random strangers. But yeah, I'll leave my 3DS friend code if you have Monster Hunter or you're interested in playing it. But yeah, I'm just having a blast with this game. Yeah, my favorite 3DS game so far. Yeah, I think I might have even it might. I think it's beaten SMT4, which I was not expecting. I mean, I like Monster Hunter, like Monster Hunter Tri. I loved that game, but it was one of those things where after a while I felt burnt out on it, and you know, after playing that, I felt like I probably couldn't go back to another Monster Hunter game. And for the longest time, I wasn't really excited in this game, for this game rather. I wasn't looking forward to it all that much. But now that it's here and I'm finally playing it, my God, I just can't get enough of it. Yeah, that's it, guys. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.